Alright, hello. So, I had to lower my bitrate a lot just now, because this AMD graphics card has been a nightmare. Oh my god. I upgraded my graphics card, because I've been using a really, really old graphics card that was given to me by a friend, and it was already old like when they replaced it. Like I'm pretty sure it's like from like 2012 or something like that. Like it's an old graphics card. I might be exaggerating. It might not be 2012, but it was a very old NVIDIA graphics card that I had been using, and for the most part, got the job done. I made an upgrade to, I think it was a, oh gosh, I can never remember these long ass names for like graphics card. It's like an AMD Radeon 6500 XT or something like that. I don't know. These names are so long. Been a nightmare. Absolute nightmare. I do not think I will ever buy AMD again, just because of how it affects OBS. I also had like frame drops and night rain that I have never had on that old NVIDIA card. Like I could run Night Rain no problem without any frame drops. Hello, Tiana. Good to see you. I hope you're doing quite well. It's been quite a while since I've seen you, as I've not been live. So I hope you're doing well. I'm just gonna be yapping about random things. Well, I'll have to get an add-on for this. No, don't take me to the Steam store. I'll just play another random map. Hang on. Let's do. What maps have we not done? These are new. We'll do this Forest Cottage. But yeah, I've had so many technical issues with this new AMD card. I do not recommend AMD to anyone at all who does streaming. Just, I'm sure you can make them work. I've heard that they are just fine for some people. I've had nothing but nightmares out of it. I don't think I'll be getting AMD again in the future, though it'll probably be years before I get another graphics card. And then like right after I figured out how to get the graphics card situation mostly handled on my OBS, my internet provider started having a really hard time providing surface. Why is this not cleaning? Why do I don't remember how to play this game. All right. E. Doing great. Been doing ASMR roleplay. Now you're happy to do it, and ASMR live streams too. Oh, awesome. Awesome. I've done a couple ASMR videos in the past. I think I've got like 2 or 3 out. There was a couple I was working on that I ended up canning. I want to get into ASMR more. Well, the problem is I do not live alone, and I do not want the people I live with to hear me doing ASMR roleplays, and so it prevents me from doing the roleplays that I would like to do. But hopefully I can find a better workaround solution to that at some point in time. Maybe what needs to happen is I should like set up a secondary recording area outside of my room, like maybe in like an outhouse or something. Maybe I should record in my car. I don't know. Some of it's like I don't mind too bad if people hear me recording it, but like I like doing I like recording the spicy ASMRs, and I don't want people to hear me doing that in my house. Okay, seriously, why can't I clean the moss? Is the moss not dirt? Is that just a part of the house, maybe? I feel like I'm forgetting something here on how to play this game. Where are the controls? I want the controls. Options. Where be controls? Okay. Because I know there's a way to use, like, soaps and stuff. I'm just going to start hitting keys. Okay. Most of these keys are doing nothing. Cleaning liquid. There's, like, a wheel you can bring up. I know there's a wheel. Oh. Okay, there's one wheel. Here's another wheel. Soap. So, is this able to clean? Yes, that can clean the moss, so it's a power issue. You're not living alone either. You're sitting doing ASMR roleplay in your mom in the house. She doesn't care what you're doing. Well, I'm glad that you're comfortable doing that. Realistically, I could get away with a lot of things. I just am really embarrassed to be heard doing them, and so it kind of affects my ability to perform the ASMR that I want to do, but I'm so glad it's working out for you. I've also thought about doing, you can go on, like Amazon has a page that you can go to where you can do fills for audiobooks that need to be read, and you can get paid decently well doing those audiobook recordings. I've been meaning to get into doing that. That should be even easier. Like, I doubt I should run into much issue recording a lot of that stuff and being super embarrassed. Though, I do imagine there probably is a good amount of like angsty romance novels that I could probably do voice recordings for. But that would be very embarrassing to be heard doing some of that stuff. My girlfriend has sent me some clips of some stuff like that, that like people on TikTok will apparently upload these like lines from some of these like angsty romance novels. I'm not sure what to call them. There's angsty romance novels is not what they call them. They're like these like, I don't know, like I don't know what to call them, but they're a particular type of book with very what's the word? Not explicit dialogue. Well, I guess it is explicit oftentimes, but very strange dialogue. I don't know. I don't read a lot of these types of books. I haven't read a lot of books in general. I've tried to get more into reading over the past couple years. I really want to read Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning, because I've gotten very into psychology as the years have gone on, and I've wanted to read that for a long time. But there's not a whole lot of like fiction books that I've wanted to read, except for like maybe some of the classics. I've listened to some good amount of audiobooks though. ASMR is different, like other girl VTuber used to fidget toys like marbles and stuff. Ooh. Okay, very nice, very nice. Those are quite enjoyable for a lot of people. I don't get the ASMR tingles. I was not one of the people that was blessed with the capability of feeling tingles, but my girlfriend gets them, and she's definitely like sent me clips and stuff like that of people playing with marbles and stuff like that, and she's like, it does things to my brain, and I'm like, that's great, honey, that's great. I'm very happy for you. It does nothing to me. Well, that is awesome. I'm glad that's going well for you. I had a good friend of mine that also got into ASMR, and she does the marbles and stuff too. Oh, the mouse wheel changes the nozzle. Oh. I got a new mouse. I was kind of skeptical of it at first. So for the past, I don't know how many years, geez, I want to say 6 years maybe, I have been using a broken mouse. I got my PC in like 2016, something like that. And it came with a mouse, and I had been using that mouse ever since 2016. And it had really been through the ringer. It did not function properly, like the mouse wheel was broken on it. And so in order to use a mouse wheel, I had this crappy little mouse from like a dollar store that I had got. One of the most uncomfortable mice you could ever hold in your hand. Like, it feels like the cheapest plastic imaginable. Like, it feels of lower quality than a McDonald's toy. Like, if you could get a mouse in a McDonald's toy, that's what this mouse would be like. And so I would have two mice plugged in at the same time so that I could reach over to my left and still use a mouse wheel on this like cheap mouse, because the mouse wheel just didn't work at all on my regular mouse. And like if I was like scrolling an internet page, I would just like grab the little like draggy thing on the right side and like drag it down. But I finally picked up a new mouse. I got a Razer mouse. I'm not really into the Razer brand, but there was Amazon Prime Day deals, and it was a generally well-regarded mouse, and so I picked it up. And I wasn't super into it at first, because I was like, man, the mouse wheel on this thing sucks. It's like weird. Like it just doesn't like, it's like extra sensitive. It goes off when it's not supposed to. And then I found out that what the problem is that there is a function on this mouse called Infinity Wheel, which is, it's a button on the mouse that I can click that'll lock the mouse in so that it works like a normal mouse, where it's like you can feel the little what do you call it, like is it rivets? I think it's rivets, where you can like feel little bumps in the mouse as you like scroll down. And that's like the normal mouse, where it's like it's not too sensitive. You're not going to like switch weapons in a game without like actually trying to. But if I click the wheel down again, then it's just a free roll. So I can like flick it. Okay, it doesn't really like, yeah, I can like switch like super duper fast here. This is me like barely touching my mouse wheel. And I'm kind of addicted to it. I kind of can't go back now, because it's like incredibly convenient if you're like browsing a web page. Just having the freedom of like barely needing to touch the mouse wheel, I don't know, it's really, really nice. I never really would have thought that I would care about that kind of feature, but I'm hooked. It's too nice. It's too convenient. Speaking of things that are too nice and convenient, I got to go to a Whole Foods recently. That's probably, for a lot of people, would hear that and be like, okay, yeah, whatever, it's Whole Foods, who cares? I don't have a Whole Foods where I am. It's kind of a luxury grocery store compared to like what I'm used to. I went into Whole Foods, and first of all, I was astonished at some of the stuff that was on selection available for purchase. And secondly, I was flabbergasted by the prices on some things. Like, I saw items that were like above $35 for like a small bag of like a food, and I don't think I've ever seen prices like that at a grocery store. I saw one thing at Whole Foods. I can't remember what it was, but it was $53 for a small bag of something. I think it might have been a drink, actually. Just absolutely crazy. Absolutely wild prices. But I did get some cool stuff. I got this little I wish I could bring it up on camera. I should like set up like a hand cam or something sometime. I got these little Asian juices. So like I got a Mikan, which is like it's a type of mandarin. It was really nice. It's kind of orangey. I described it as like something between orange and a pear. At least to my taste buds, that's what it tastes like. It's quite pleasant. I also had ume. It's I think it's a plum. It kind of has like a grape like taste to it. Almost like grape without any of the sour notes, or like maybe like a fine wine, but like once again none of like the alcohol taste or like sour notes. It was really quite good. But the thing that like absolutely knocked my socks off is last night I tried the yuzu juice, and oh my god, that is one of the best things that I have ever tasted. It's like a lemon, but better than lemon in like every way. Like it doesn't have a lot of the like sour acidity that I associate with lemon. It's like a lot sweeter and goes down smoother. And not like those things are bad on lemon. Like I love lemon a lot. But oh my god, this yuzu juice is just divine. I was shocked at how good it is. Oh, can I? Yeah, okay, here we go. Oh, let's clean this rooster. Really, really good stuff. I also got some, there was some caviar for cheap. I'm not sure that I think I've had caviar in the past. Definitely not many times. I think I haven't had it in years. Really, really good. I can see why people like caviar. It is very delicious. I got some salmon jerky. Very nice. I like it. I love fish. Generally, anything that comes out of the ocean, I love it. So, those are pretty safe bets that I would like them. What else did I get? I got... I got some black rice. I haven't cooked it yet. I have no idea what black rice is going to taste like, but I know that it is particularly common in Nigerian cooking and Haitian cooking. So I might look up either a Nigerian recipe or a Haitian recipe and go with that. I'm pretty sure what makes the rice black is like a type of mushroom that grows with the rice, or they add it to the rice. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm pretty sure it's a type of mushroom that turns the rice black. So I'm expecting some like mushroom type notes, like some umami flavors, but I don't know, maybe it won't taste like that at all. I'm pretty excited for it though, because I love rice, and if it is mushroomy, I'll like that because I love mushrooms. This rooster is hard to clean. Very dirty. I gotta get in its eye hole. I haven't streamed so much that, like, I feel like I've lost the art of really being able to just yap about anything and like have a constant stream of dialogue. That's always been one of the hardest things for me as a streamer, is that like I am not the type of person that just in my everyday life just keeps talking. I'm actually quite quiet, I would say. I'm not like, I don't know if I'm introverted, honestly. For most of my life, I would say that I've been introverted. But I have extroverted qualities as well. Like I do genuinely really enjoy hanging out in like large groups of people. I've organized like lots of like really big collabs and like found them to be very fulfilling. I like doing like team building stuff. So I don't think I qualify as introverted, but I mostly keep to myself in my everyday life. My line of work also alters that, like outside of streaming. So, like for example, I was on a job site recently where I was filming and I had hundreds upon hundreds of people standing behind me while I'm filming, just looking at my backside. Just I'm facing away from them because I'm filming the stage event, and they're all behind me. And I don't typically like to set up my camera in that way. I typically like to be behind the crowd because it feels weird to be in front of the stage. But yeah, I had to have like hundreds upon hundreds of people just looking at me in my rear for like, I don't know, close to like 3 hours in total of like the job. I've also had to get up on stage multiple times in the past and like test audio equipment or like address people. And that's not particularly something I love to do. Like, I don't get excited to do that, but I am capable of doing it. At my buddy's wedding, I had to like give a speech, and he had a really, really big turnout for his wedding. There was a lot of people there. It was very embarrassing to do it. I was dreading it the whole time, but I did really well. Like one of my friends was shocked at how well I did it because he knew I was like freaking out about it, because he was like, "Oh my god, dude, you didn't even like stutter once. You just did like all of that in like what felt like one breath really easily. Like it was extremely natural sounding." And I was like, "Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I was absolutely scared as hell. So I'm glad that they didn't come through in the speech at all, because I was very nervous." I'm also noticing that I am saying a lot more than usual because I'm out of practice. It's something that I've worked very hard to try and eliminate from my vernacular. Vocabulary? What's the difference? I'm going to look that up. Vernacular. What does vernacular mean? Vernacular refers to the everyday language spoken by people in a particular region or group, often contrasted with formal or standard language. It encompasses the informal vocabulary, pronunciation, and grammatical structures used in daily conversation, and can include slang and regionalisms. I am not sure that that would qualify as me saying and stuff like that. I don't know. But yeah, I try not to say and filler words. It's generally better if I can like speak with some confidence. I feel it's much more inviting to listen to. But that's especially difficult for me that I don't have any script or like idea of what I'm going to be talking about when I start stream. Usually I'm just trying to like think a million miles per second about filling the dead air. Whenever I started streaming, it was a major goal of mine that I don't allow there to be any moments of me not talking, because there's a belief, at least amongst the people that I started streaming with, and myself and like all the guides and stuff that I looked at when I got into streaming, that having dead silence in a talking stream, this can be different for like ASMR and stuff like that, because that's inherently more relaxing. So silence is a little bit more acceptable here and there, I would feel, but maybe I'm wrong. I'm not an ASMR streamer. I've just done ASMR recordings. But for talkie streams, the idea is you don't want to allow a viewer to tune into your stream at any point in time and you're just not talking. There's a good chance that they will click off the stream, that they will decide that, like, maybe there's something wrong with my audio. You know, I'm going to click onto a different stream, and they're like, oh, my audio is working just fine. And then they end up staying on that other stream. There's a whole lot of reasons why you don't want to allow yourself to just be sitting back, playing the game. I've eased up on that a lot over time, though, because I care a lot less. Like, I'm not really trying to grow much of an audience anymore. In the beginning, I definitely was. I was trying very hard to kind of do as best as I could, especially because there was a lot of momentum happening at the time. And it was kind of a bit of a golden age where, like, Twitter wasn't ass yet. This was pre-Twitter becoming X. And, like, you could generally meet a lot of people really easily. You could put out tons of posts that would get attention and people would, like, come to your streams. It was really easy to, like, organize collabs and just all kinds of things that made doing this a lot easier. So I was trying very hard to give it my all. There were definitely areas that I could have done better in. Like, I should have made more recorded content. Like, that was when YouTube was still pushing YouTube Shorts, like, really, really hard. So if I had made, like, more YouTube Shorts, more TikToks and stuff like that, that would have helped a lot. Unfortunately, I'm not really the type of person that does well with making shorts and TikToks and stuff like that. I don't have the brain that thinks that way. Especially because I find that a lot of YouTuber clips and stuff like that, they're typically centered around comedy for the most part. You know, not all of them. A lot of them now are kind of like life advice or life story and stuff like that. Like, there's more variety in what it was, but especially back at the time, it felt like most of them were comedy stuff. And I'm not really a very funny person. Okay, we should move to a different spot here. Okay, maybe switch heads. Why is this? Okay, I guess I'll go stand on this thing. Much better. Why is that? What is the range on this? Oh, my. How the hell did I end up on the stubby? I don't want stubby. Oh, much better. Maybe I can switch to a different head now. Yes, I can. I did add something to my OBS that I'm very excited about. I can do this now. Hang on, I haven't used it before on stream. How is that working? Yeah, I can draw on my stream now. So I can be, like, explaining stuff, and I can be like 2 plus 2 equal fish. It's a fairly odd parents joke. But yeah, I'm happy I can do that now. There's a lot of times where I've been, like, talking about a thing or illustrating a point, or particularly like playing a game and I'm like analyzing the environment or talking about like a lore thing, and being able to have that as something that I can pull out and illustrate my point better is awesome. I am loath to make the comparison of saying that it's like the way that pirate software does stuff, because man, oh, that the public opinion on that guy shifted way south, for good reason, relatively good reason, but wow, people have gotten really into that. I'm someone who's been particularly interested in the stop killing games movement since way before the whole pirate software debacle and stuff like that. I'm someone who's very into game preservation. I'm very into like retro titles and stuff like that, and the preservation of retro titles. I worry about things like DRM and what do you call it? Come on, brain. Live service model games that will go offline one day. Particularly because I am someone who absolutely loves Final Fantasy XIV, and I am absolutely terrified about the idea that there will come a day when Final Fantasy XIV will just be gone. There will be no way for someone to experience what I view as one of the most important stories ever told. And I'm not even being hyperbolic in that. I genuinely believe that the story in Final Fantasy XIV is one of the most important and deeply human stories ever written. And I think it would be an absolute tragedy for it to become unplayable to future people whom would potentially play it. It saddens me that when Final Fantasy XIV recently did their graphical update, which in many ways made the graphics better. A lot of lighting looks better. A lot of things just genuinely look better. But it upsets me to know and to think about that there is a version of that game that is gone now. The way that I saw the game when I played it, the way that it looked when I went through it originally, is gone now. You cannot play it. That update does not exist anymore. Now, there might be someone who has archived it online. There might be some way that you could do like a private server that's like pre, Dawn Trail or whatever. And I hope there is, even though that would be illegal. I hope someone has done that. But there is no official means for anyone to play that. You cannot like purchase a version of Final Fantasy XIV that still looks that way that it was when I played it. That's over 10 years of a game being a certain kind of way that is gone now. And we've had stuff like that before as well, where like, skills that classes had are gone. Like, I can't do... One of the most identifiable things about, like, Dark Knight in Final Fantasy XIV, for example, was their ability to jump at an enemy, and they did, like, this spin in the air, and they like, plunged, attacked on top of them. That was iconic because it was almost shot for shot exactly how Guts from Berserk attacks, and there's a lot of overlap thematically with the Dark Knight class and Guts from Berserk and like other similar type of archetypal characters such as like Artorias and other characters that have taken inspiration from Guts over time. And that skill's just gone now. You can't do it anymore. I think like Rough Divide and other skills on Gunbreaker that were like directly lifted from Squall in Final Fantasy VIII, the original Gunbreaker, are completely gone as well, and it breaks my heart to see stuff like that gone. So there's like things about the game, about the way that the game used to be, about the way that the game used to be played, that are gone. You cannot get them back, and that makes me sad that there's no way to have that stuff. And I just would like to see art be preserved more. It makes me sad to see things that were made, especially things that were made with lots of love, care, and attention, to just go away. Sure, videos still exist online. You know, there's some people will be like, oh, it was cool because, like, I was there for it, you know. It's my experience. I don't really like that particularly. Like, I've heard people be like, oh, you know, you go to like a live music performance and that was your experience, you know. You were there, you got to experience at your memory, but you can't, like other people that weren't there will never know what it was like. I don't see that as a good thing, particularly. You know, if something can be recorded, if something can be archived in some type of way, particularly if it's meaningful, I want to see it archived. I want to see it preserved and taken care of. That's also why I am particularly dismayed by the recent happenings with Steam and Itch.io. That is a massive can of worms. Probably not something I should discuss on Twitch, but I'm going to do it anyway because I don't care. As many know, Visa and MasterCard have been pressuring different sites to comply with their bullshit rules. They went for, like, Fansly and I think, like, maybe only... Oh, wait, I'm not supposed to say the Only Friends app. Aha, yeah. Almost said it the way that Twitch doesn't like. I think I'm allowed to say the first one. I'm not sure. If not, I'm sorry, Twitch. Give me a pass. Okay, I didn't know. They, like, made them change a bunch of requirements and stuff like that, and they've been doing all kinds of stuff for the past several years. But they recently got extra aggressive, and Steam had to, like, change their whole policies. And I think it was something like over 27,000 games got removed from Steam. And then Itch.io unindexed a massive amount of games where you cannot find them in search anymore. You have to have a direct link to the page to even access it. And this is very disheartening to me. It's very, very upsetting to see this happen. Particularly, among many other reasons, but particularly because most of these games are indie projects. The grand majority of these are all indie projects. There are people who put blood, sweat, and tears into making these games, regardless if other people do not see value in them as art. They poured their time and effort into making these things, and they were depending on these creations that they made as means of their livelihood. And I think it's absolutely deplorable to deprive people from that after they've worked so hard on it. Even if other people do not, view it as particularly anything of value being lost. There's a channel that I've been watching since God, how old was I when They're from the Machinima days. I don't know how many people would know what machinima is. I would bet not a lot of people know what machinima is anymore. But machinima used to be a very big YouTube channel, as well as, gosh, what did we call it back in the day? Because I don't think we have them anymore. I don't remember what the industry term for it was, but they were a group that you would sign up with. You would sign like a contract with them. And the idea was that they would assist you with marketing your videos, and they would protect you if you ran into like copyright issues with YouTube. They would be able to get in contact with the people at YouTube to help you get you out of any trouble that you might get into. I don't remember what we called these types of companies, but Machinima was one of these companies. And I want to say, I don't know, it would have been like 7, maybe 8. I don't know. I don't know how old I would have been. I'd have been very little, because I'm almost 26 now. I'm turning 26 in September. So, wouldn't be hard to do the math if I looked up when Machinima was around or whatever. But there's these people who I've been watching since ye olden days at Machinima, and they run another YouTube channel now. They've jumped around from several different YouTube channels over the years. I'm not going to name who it is, but they were talking about the Steam game bans and stuff like that. And they're supposed to mostly just be reporting on the news of what's going on. Their opinions do come up most of the time on stuff that they report on, which I typically don't mind. But they felt the need to interject that nothing of value was lost when these games went away. And I found that particularly offensive, because, like, just because you don't think that anything of value was there, why in the world does that make it okay to just wipe them from existence? Like, some of these games were not listed anywhere other than Steam. Some of these games, like, the developers are not around anymore, so wiping them away from Steam means the end of their existence as a total. Hi, Nix. It's good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. I think I was scrolling through Twitch last night. I can't remember if I was scrolling through your stream or not, but I saw you were live streaming really late last night. I hope you had a good stream. I haven't had a chance to really come by and watch them lately. I hope I can catch another one. When are you streaming next? Oh my god, this pink paint is so hard to get rid of. Let me... Oh, this is wood cleaner. Oh. So... Oh, I've been using wood cleaner. Oh, okay. Okay. I forgot how this game is played. Okay, and so the cleaners run out. So now, what I want to do is... So this is a stone. So we want stone cleaner. Is that... No, refill. There we go. You're starting to stream really late as your days and nights are reversed currently, most likely tonight around midnight. Okay, I'll try to tune in. I'm usually trying to go to sleep around that time, but, you know, I'll open up and chat for a little while before I doze off. I should be able to do that. I just got a new phone case, and it's a little bit easier for me to watch stuff in bed now, because my phone case has a kickstand. I've actually been using my phone naked for, God, I don't know, like over 5 years now. So it's weird to go back to using a phone case. But the kickstand makes it much easier to like prop it up in bed and watch stuff, so that'll be fun to prop it up and tune into the stream. My phone has been naked. I very, very rarely drop my phone. It is very rare. That's why I've been okay with having my phone naked, because it's extremely rare that I put my phone in a position where it gets damaged. The main reason why it was good for me to get a phone is just because when I'm traveling, or particularly when I'm working, the kind of work that I do, often I'm having to like run or crouch down, maybe even crawl around on the ground. And having my phone in my pocket, just, raw dogging it, not really ideal. Kind of stress inducing. So having a phone case was really something that I should have done a long time ago. Even if I want to like maybe take it off when I'm just at home, I might do that. But the problem with doing that is that if you're constantly like taking your phone in and out of its case, I find that it kind of wears the case out. Because I used to do that, like, before I just started using my phone naked. I would take it out of its case when I was at home and just put the case back on when I leave. But it, like, wears out the silicone. Whoops. I like it, though. My phone case matches my VTuber now. It's, I should... Oh, man, I told my girlfriend I was going to take a picture of the phone case, and I never did. Damn. I forgot about that. But yeah, it matches my VTuber. It's got, like, gold around the rim of it. And the little, like, kickstand ring on the back is, like, gold. So it's, like, golden red. And there's, like, a little golden heart on the back. It's cool. I'm glad that I found this. I like having things that match my VTuber. This is also my... God, what is this? My fourth replacement phone of this model. I have made this warranty so incredibly worth it. Every time I've got my phone replaced, too, it's always been, like, the same issue. Is that the model of phone that I had, like, the speaker and the microphone are on the bottom of the phone, and they always end up going out. Like, they start getting defective. And so I like, call up about my warranty, and I'm like, I got an issue. And they're like, okay, come into the store. And I go into the store, and then they run their little diagnostic test, and they're like, oh, sure enough, your speaker and your microphone, they failed the test. They're defective. And I'm like, okay, can you fix it? And they're like, nope, you want a replacement? And I'm like, yep, give me a replacement. And every time, they're like, we don't got it here. We'll have to get it mailed in. So I have to leave the store, get it mailed into the store, come back to the store to get it, because they won't mail it to my house. I gotta go back to the store to get the item. And it's like an hour drive to get to the store, if not more. So it's always a little bit of a hassle, but it's worth it in the end, because I get a replacement phone that works really well. I do feel bad about the seemingly large amount of waste, though. Like, why are we just, like, doing a whole new phone instead of, like, fixing the problem? Like, I don't mind so much, because, like, I end up with, like, a nice phone that, like, has, like, no scratches or anything. But, like, what happens to the old one? Does that get recycled? I doubt it. Hang on, I gotta adjust my chair because my circulation is going off. Alright, I'm back. My hand was going numb. I need to get like a lower desk. Or actually, my desk has wheels on it. Maybe I could just take the wheels off. I'm always hesitant to like upgrade my desk setup because like ideally I don't want to be living here anymore. So I don't really want to put a lot of work and particularly money into making my desk situation and stuff like that better. Because I don't even intend to like keep this desk really. Like I'll probably get a new desk when I move eventually. I've been using this desk since, oh man, how long have I had this desk? Probably, maybe since I was 6 years old. Yeah, maybe since like 2006. This desk has been through it. I used to sit at this desk for hours and hours at a time, and I got really into like knives, and I would sit there playing with knives, and then eventually I started carving into my desk with knives. And I would carve all types of crazy stuff, just trying to like keep my mind from going numb while I was doing studies. So my desk is absolutely marred with all kinds of crazy marks. I mean, this thing has just been through hell and back. But I still use it. It's still functional as a desk. If I touch it the wrong way, it kind of hurts because like little bits of wood will kind of get up against my skin. I don't like that, but I don't usually touch it in that kind of way, so it doesn't really pose much of an issue. I have a mouse pad for the mouse section, and then my hand doesn't touch the desk when I'm using the keyboard, so it doesn't really matter too much. It's mostly just hideous. I've been trying to record a playthrough of Clair Obscur. I need to get back to it. I ran into a temporary speed bump because my girlfriend was going to do the editing, and she is abroad right now. She's in Korea, and so I needed to send her the footage, and something went wrong with the settings for my recording because the video files came out to be like over 100 gigs for the entire recording. And sending that big of a file, as well as like downloading that and just working with a file that big is really difficult. So I was trying to figure that out for a while to like get it in a situation where she could access the file. But once I figure it out, or either just edit the first episode on my own and then, you know, find a solution for future episodes, or maybe just edit it all on my own, I will get back to that game and eventually start recording episodes and uploading them on the YouTube channel. I know Let's Plays aren't really a thing that people do anymore these days, but I like them. I watch them personally. So, yeah, look forward to that. That game is amazing from what I played so far. It really is like a Final Fantasy level of quality. I mean, it had me crying in the opening of the game. They really hit me super hard in the feels. I really, really like writing that can make me cry. I always have. I've always had a respect for stories that make me cry. But even more as I've gotten older, because it's gotten way, way harder to make me cry. So for a story to be able to make me emotional really means a lot more to me now. How are we? We're only 52% done. I guess because of the walls and stuff like that mostly. Let's see, how is our tech doing? We haven't had much drop frames. It says that we've dropped 211 frames over the course of the stream, and there is a 0.2% dropped frames. Oh, we just jumped up to 330 frames lost. My KBS is also really shit. That's unfortunate. My internet provider has really been dropping the ball lately. I'm excited for my girlfriend Cam to get back for many reasons, but one reason is she's doing a rebrand of her model and stuff like that. And I'm very, very excited for her to show people the new model. I think it looks fantastic. Very, very cute. And we'll be streaming together a lot more coming up soon. So that'll be really good. I really do better when I can stream with another person. I particularly like streaming with other people. Streaming alone is much more difficult for me. And I just generally love being around her. And so, you know, I feel that I will probably be a lot more pleasant on stream. Okay, so that's glass. So we want a glass cleaner. Okay, maybe I should like switch to the stubby. Yeah, stubby. Why is it? There we go. Yeah. Okay, and so now we wood. Come on. Okay, multi-purpose. Bruh. Okay, maybe switch back to wood. Okay. Alright, I'm starting to remember, yeah, I think I used, like, cleaner on, like, everything all the time. Can I move this, thingy? Maybe if I ditch the ladder. Come on. Come on. Come on. Let me place it, please. Why? Why do you mock me, game? Oh, good enough. Out of wood cleaner? What do you mean? How do I buy more? Bruh. Come on, there we go. Try to remember what else I wanted to yap about. Oh, I had a silly idea for a kind of content I could do. I don't know if I'm gonna do it, so I don't want people to hold their breath for it or anything. Not that I think anyone would particularly care, but I thought about a silly idea of what if I did a podcast, but it's just me. And that might sound like, okay, well, yeah, that's just you yapping. No. It's not just me. I mean, it's just me, but it's not just me. What if I did, it's just me, but I have multiple versions of me with, like, different models that I, like swap between and, like, talk to myself as if I'm, like, different people. Like, if I, like, am talking about a topic, I could, like, have a character that is me. Like, I'm playing the character, I'm voicing the character, and I could play devil's advocate for that topic and debate with myself. And I thought this was a really good idea because, like, you can't really do that live quite so well unless it's through the VTuber medium. Because, you know, if it's recorded, of course, you could have multiple of yourself that you just do, like, different hair and makeup for or whatever, and you swap between those. No big deal. You could do that. But, like, doing a live performance, the only way you're going to be able to really do that is with multiple models. And you can run multiple instances of VTube Studio. So theoretically, if you had multiple instances of VTube Studio and you set up hotkeys for each of the instances so that you could disable the mouth tracking for the ones that are not currently speaking, you could make it so that the models that are not your current character of speaking are not, you know, moving their lips. They're just, like, sitting there. You could even set up, like, idle poses and stuff like that you, like, click on with, like, a toggle to maybe make them look a little bit more organic. That way it's not, like, outright just tracking the same exact movements that you have going on your main model. I don't know. Like, it sounds difficult to set up. It sounds, you know, like it would take a lot to really figure out the best way to do this. But that's kind of usually a lot of the best things are things that are difficult in those specific ways. And there's a reason why no one else is doing them. And if you can crack the code on doing them, it's incredibly rewarding. So I kind of want to trial that idea and see what I can pull out. Might take me a while, though. I'm not the most technically smart, and I'm a bit of a lazy boy. So even when I do have time, there's going to be a lot of moments where I'm sitting there and I'm like, I could be working on this idea that would be very rewarding. Or I could watch this 4-hour retrospective on a PS2 title that you've never heard of in your life. I might want to sit here and watch that PS2 retrospective and do very little with my life. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'll try to work at it. I've been trying to multitask less. I found that a lot of my enjoyment of things was being robbed by trying to multitask, such as like watching videos on the side and like playing a game. I've found that it robbed my enjoyment. What are you saying okay to? Which thing? I've been yapping about a whole lot of stuff. I need to also set up more things for my stream. Like I need to bring back sound redeems. I need to bring back the Twitch integrated throwing system. I've been meaning to set up stream avatars for a long time. At some point in time, I'd really like to commission an artist somewhere to like make a custom background music. I know that's kind of like a niche thing, and a lot of people will be like, "Ah, just use this like copyright-free music or whatever." I kind of want to have my own. What kind of song? I really like classical and orchestral music. So probably something like that, something that reminds me of like Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, or Dark Souls and stuff like that. You know, instrumental kind of music. I like piano quite a bit. The best VTuber background music I've ever heard is like Crony from Hololive has really good backing tracks. I've really enjoyed hers, though I think some of hers are a bit lo-fi. Which theme? What do you mean by which theme? I mean, I like all the music from the titles that I listed. I have some particular favorites, but, you know, I more mean just like the broader type of music. Which song in particular? I don't know. I wouldn't want to be directly copying any of them at all. I was just using that as like a example. What kind of cleaner do I have to use on this? Maybe if I use this. Oh, that works. Okay. What's the closest track from that series, or from those series, to what I would go for? I don't know. Have I heard Tamari by Ina? No, I don't think I've heard Tamari yet. I need to listen to that. I haven't listened to any Hololive music in a while. I really need to get back into doing that. I think the only person from Hololive's music who I kept up with is Callie, because I'm a very big fan of Calliope Mori. I love Callie. But I love basically all of Hololive. Tamari is one of your faves, up there with I Beg You. Am I familiar with I Beg You? Hang on, let me open another tab. It sounds familiar. Hololive. I Beg You. Let's see. I am not familiar with I Beg You. Is that an Iris song? By Eimer. Eimer. I don't know. Eimer. Like it refers to Eimer's Katamoi. Oh, Fate series. Oh, okay. I see. I understand. I've been meaning to pick up the Fate remaster as well and play that. I feel like maybe the best chance for me to actually really enjoy and get into Fate would be to actually play the visual novels. I also need to finish Fate Zero. I've seen Fate Stay Night and Unlimited Blade Works. I enjoyed them, but I haven't finished Zero. I've watched a lot of video essays on Zero, though. My friend Aria is very, very into Fate. I'm pretty sure she still plays the mobile game as well. And the mobile game scares me. I don't play any mobile games now. My favorite mobile games got shut down, gone, lost to time. You just like I Beg You? I will check it out. I guess I could. I would do it on stream. I don't have the scene and stuff like that set up to do YouTube video watchings. I'll try to have that ready for next stream. That's something I want to do more, is actually like watch stuff with chat. I used to really like one of my favorite VTuber streamers. They would do their normal stream, and then they would end the stream by, for the last like hour or so, they would just like watch videos with chat and just kind of chill out for a while. And I always thought that was a really nice way to end the stream, because it's just like you go from whatever excitement was there during the stream of like the game or whatever that you played into kind of like gradually chilling out and coming down from that enjoyment and just like relaxing. I kind of like on the other end of the spectrum, I also kind of feel like it's like a little lame, because you are benefiting from other people's content more or less by just like watching videos. Like I've always felt kind of weird about like React content on like live streams. But like Twitch is not the same kind of experience as like watching videos. So I think maybe it's fine, because you're not really generally pulling views away from that thing. The people who are like watching stream are like there for a completely different reason than they would have like come to that video in the first place. It's like the band that was made to do the OST for Madoka Magica. I haven't listened to any music from Madoka Magica. Is it particularly good? Madoka Magica has always been one of those things that like I've thought about watching but just never did. I'm familiar with how freaking crazy Madoka Magica gets. Stretch. Yeah, I also want to get a shock collar. I've been watching another VTuber named Krelly, who's been doing streams with a shock collar. And I always enjoy shock collar content. Anytime I've ever seen a YouTube video with shock collars or a stream with shock collars, I just like them. I think that they are funny. I also have a very high pain tolerance, so I wonder how that would do. Shock collar like Fillion and Vidal with Neuro. I don't watch much Fillion, to be... Neuro controlled it. Okay, that's interesting that they had Neuro control it, considering... Gosh, that sounds kind of scary to have a unsentient being controlling a shock collar. That would freak me out a little. That is kind of cool, though. It was scary, and Philly took it off. Nah, I'm not gonna take it off. I can't do that. That's cowardly. I can't take off the shock collar. That's like admitting defeat to the shock collar. I gotta prove to the shock collar that I'm stronger than it. Neuro push the limits. Very nice. And spammed it. Ooh, that's dirty. That's dirty. Just spamming it. Oof. What was the one I was looking at? I was looking at the... what was the shock collar? This is called the Pi Shock? PA Shock? PI Shock was the one I was looking at. I don't know if that's like the common one that people use. A little strange that the artwork for like explaining how the device works on the official account or the official website is like furry art. I don't mind it. I just thought it was a little funny that it's like all furry art. I feel like I would do really well with shock collar. Like, maybe I'm wrong, but like, you know, I've done all kinds of like punishments and stuff on stream, like the like ghost pepper hot sauce and stuff like that. I feel like the shock collar is not going to be as punishing or as painful as the ghost pepper stuff that I've done. I think I can handle it. They're like $110 per shock collar. And you can get like 8 of them with this one that I was looking at. Like, you can have 8 shock collars like hooked up at different parts of your body. There's no way I would be able to afford more than one, at least at first. So I would just start with the one. But it would be so interesting. Ghost pepper is though, no, compared to concentrate. So the hot sauce that I had, it is like a concentrate, I think. It's like thick. It's extremely thick. If you take the cap off, I can smell the ghost pepper hot sauce from the other room. Like, it punches you. I handle spice like really, really, really well. Like, to the amount that it like shocks people. Like, I go to like Thai restaurants and stuff like that, and I get like the maximum spice, and the waiters and stuff like that are like freaked out by it. Like, they're like, "Whoa, we don't usually see people eat that." You mean capsaicin, pure capsaicin? I haven't seen that. You know, I'm sure that would be particularly difficult to handle. I'm sure there are things spicier than it that could knock me out on my ass. I had a particularly bad hit of the ghost pepper hot sauce when I was streaming with Nyx at one point in time, where it was like a whole spoonful, and it like hit the back of my throat wrong, and it like punched the air out of my throat. Like, I could not breathe for a good minute. I was like legitimately concerned on whether or not I was going to be able to like keep doing the stream, because I had like a sore throat for like a couple days after. The spice flavor ruins the food for you. The pepper makes it all bitter. It doesn't just taste bitter, and overwhelms the entire dish for you. No, so I do know what you mean though. If a food is not naturally spicy, and you're like pouring hot sauce in on it, it covers up and ruins a lot of the subtleties of the food. I do know what you mean, and I agree. Like, for example, I got a Thai noodle recently, and I asked for the maximum level of spice. And I could tell when I looked at the broth that the way that they got to the maximum level of spice is because they just, like, poured a bunch of hot sauce in there. So a lot of the flavors that would have been in the dish naturally were just gone. They were just covered up. I still enjoyed it, but I would have liked it more with a bit less spice. So I do know what you mean there. I want there to be spice in my dish without doing that, particularly because I'm not just after the flavor of the spice, though I am after that. I'm also after the feeling of the spice. Like, I like the way that spice hurts me. Not so much the way that the ghost pepper hot sauce hurt me in that story I just told. I don't want it to, like, make it where I can't breathe and give me a sore throat. That's not really something I'm after. But the, like, where it makes me, like, cry. And I don't mean cry where I'm like, oh my god, it hurts so bad kind of cry. No, I mean just, like, it makes my eyes water and stuff like that. I like that feeling. I like the feeling that my body is, like, heating up and like, reacting to it. You got a max spice butter chicken and it tasted better instead of... I assume you mean better instead of sweet. That's interesting. That's interesting. I wonder what spices they were using to get it to be maximum spicy. Because, like, I don't like it if someone's version of, like, making it spicy is just like, yeah, we poured sriracha in here. You know, that's not what I'm after. I'm after, like, different peppers and stuff like that that have enjoyable flavors to it. Like, I got a habanero salsa recently. And usually I can handle habanero, like, really, really well. And for the first, like, day, it was pretty mild. You know, I didn't find it to be particularly spicy. It was spicy enough that it's like, I would not want to have this without something to drink on the side. That burning sensation without having something to, like, give me relief would be unenjoyable. But as I ate more and more of it, and, like, there was less and less liquid, it became more and more concentrated. And it's, like, so incredibly spicy now that it'll, like, make my eyes water if I have any of it. And I really like that. It's awesome. You barely feel spice or heat anymore. All feels the same to you, but max spice always makes things taste gross. That's fair. That's fair. I've definitely also, like, had hot wings where they just completely ruined it. When I asked for, like, super spicy, there's, like, no enjoyable, like, I can't even, like, taste the chicken anymore. It's just the spice now. I need some spice, especially with hot wings, though, because, like, medium level hot wings, that's bitch made. That's some bitch made shit that I don't fuck with. Like, that doesn't taste good to me. That's some lame ass shit. I can't wrap my head around going out for hot wings, especially paying the prices that you got to pay for some hot wings, and you're like, yes, I'll get the medium. I'll get the I am very, very white, and spice is very difficult for me to process. I can't fuck with that personally. I ain't doing that. I need it to hurt a little. If it doesn't hurt, it's not worth my money. there's an idea in some cultures, culinarily speaking, that like the like numbing pain sensation from different spices is like a flavor category of our own. So like we have like sweet, salty, spicy, savory, umami. But there's another flavor in certain cultures that's like the closest translation is like numbing. The like numb feeling that you get from like a particular amount of spice and stuff like that is like a flavor all of its own, and that's usually what I'm after, is that like numbing sensation. You do spice for subtle flavor. The heated adds you don't care about. You don't feel any pain or anything from it. Yeah, I mean that's fair. Like I like I like to add a little bit of like a Texas Pete or like a kind of like tomato based hot sauce to like a chutney that I do, like a tomato chutney that I like to have with my breakfast meals quite often. And I'm not really adding it for the spice. I'm adding it for the kind of like acidic, like fermented tomatoey taste that it adds. Because like Texas Pete is like not spicy at all. It just adds a flavor that I'm after. Let me adjust my chair. My back is starting to hurt. Hang on. There we go. I need to find the optimal posture to start the stream in, because I often find myself getting uncomfortable partway through stream. Wu Chang? Oh, you mean the Souls-like game? Optimal posture is walking. Optimal posture is absolutely walking. I cannot afford a standing desk and a walking mat. That is the dream, though. That is absolutely the dream. I would love to have a setup like Josh Strife Hayes has, where he's on like a walking mat while he streams. I want that so bad. I would be all over that. But Wu Chang, I do intend to play Wu Chang. I don't know if I'll stream it. I think I don't know, I've gotten a little tired of streaming Souls-likes. You do a treadmill now. So I don't often get to go to the gym. I love the gym, though. I miss going to the gym. I want to go back to the gym really bad. And I don't just mean that as a like, I love the gym, you know, I'm trying to sound healthy now. Like, no, I have a lot of fun going to the gym and using the different equipment. I mean, under a desk treadmill. I do not have one, no. I don't. I would love to have one. I would really, really love to have one. But, no dice. Yet. One day. One day. I saw some on sale for, Amazon Prime Day. And I seriously thought about it. I was like, oh man, do I do it? And I can't do that expenditure yet. But one day. That's your setup? Hell yeah. Happy for you. There's only one good under-desk treadmill. The rest are horrible. What is this only good one? Please tell me your secrets. Get out of here, Moss. Trying to point me to civilization. Really? Let me look this up. I'm getting Urban Dictionary here. I figured that this might be a ploy, which is why I did not verbalize this out loud. You have failed. You have failed to get me on this. It was a good effort, though. What is this? Let me... Oh. Yeah, this looks pretty good. So it already has the, like, desk piece on it. It looks like... Holy shit. That's so expensive. That's incredibly expensive, though. Oh my god. You paid like $3,000 for this thing? Oh my god. I don't mind plastic. I think I could probably be okay with plastic. The old treadmill that I used to have in my house had some plastic components. It didn't seem too bad. The plastic brakes? Shit. Maybe I can like replace it with like some custom parts. I don't want to fucking spend $3,000 on this thing. Maybe I could make my own. That seems incredibly overpriced. How hard can it be? I mean, how hard can it be to make a, you know, it's just a treadmill. 600 in the last 3 months. I mean, I hear you. I get what you're saying. Like, I'm not saying that you like shouldn't have made that purchase. I don't know that I can make that purchase. That's like a lot of money for me. Maybe I can... I don't know. Maybe I can just, like, walk in place at a spot. Like, I don't know. Maybe I can just do squats. No, that would ruin my camera tracking. I don't know. I don't think I can spend that much. How much is my health worth? I mean, my health is worth a lot, but, like, you know, I can get up and leave the desk and go exercise. I'll have to, maybe I can get like a super good sale or like find one that's like refurbished. I don't know. I'll keep a lookout for deals. You're talking about posture. Yeah, I just need to work on my posture a bit better. I have a bad habit of kind of like pushing my neck forward is a bad habit that I have, and I just kind of I try to like tell myself, I'm like, all right, I gotta like do the Superman posture. I gotta like push my neck back and be like, hello there, citizen. It's mostly when I'm sitting at my desk and stuff like that that I find myself doing that with my neck. When I'm like out, I'm much more conscientious about my my posture. It's a lot easier for me, but I kind of forget about it when I'm here at my desk. I also feel like my model tracking and microphone like pick me up better when I bring my neck forward, so Do I use an iPhone for facial tracking? Nope. I use a shitty little, like, $50 Logitech webcam, mostly because I love my artist mama. You know, she did a great job. I feel like I got a pretty good deal on mine. The rigging on my model is not the best. Love her to pieces. She did a great job. The rigging could have been better. I don't feel like there is much use in me trying to get better tracking because the rigging is not there to support it. Do you go the faceware then? Faceware works with regular cams. I just use VTube Studio. I just use the default stuff in VTube Studio. What is faceware? I've never heard of this. Please enlighten me. Really needs a depth camera? Really? Faceware is used by film studios. Interesting. I will have to look into that. I do have a, so I have a Sony camera, like a DSLR, that you are able to hook up to the computer and, like, use it as a webcam. So I could definitely use that if I wanted to, but I don't really like to use it because, one, it's really big and it's a pain to set up, and I worry about, like, using it too much because I use that for my job, and so I would not like to wear it out with streaming. May or may not have wanted to get into VTubing, but the character design has taken you many, many years and you're still nowhere close. Well, I hope you get into it eventually. It's very rewarding when you eventually get everything together with the character and everything like that, and you can look at it and truly feel that, like, this is mine. You know, all the VTubing hardware and software. I feel you. I used to be the type of person that would consume hours upon hours of videos and tutorials on stuff like OBS and streaming and YouTube creation, without ever making anything of my own. And it was good. Like, I learned a lot, but it came a point where I just kind of had to accept that I'm the type of person that it's probably better if I just hit the go live button and just kind of wing it most of the time. So a lot of times I just end up winging it. You just stream with a face cam. You VTube one day. I hope you VTube one day. That'd be cool. I look forward to seeing your model. I used to do face cam streaming. And face cam streaming it's really cool. There's a lot that you get out of seeing an actual human face that you do not get with a VTuber model. Unless you have, like, a really, really expensive VTuber model. I honestly probably should be a face cam streamer, because I have a lot of experience working with cameras and, like, working on, like, sets and stuff like that. I could really set up a nice stream setup with, like, multiple cameras and, like, switch between angles and probably do some cool stuff. I get kind of self-conscious when I'm on live face stream, though, like when I used to do it, because I felt like I needed to, like, always, like, look my best. Like, I wanted to do, like, makeup and shit like that, because I was like, man, I can see a lot of the imperfections in my face, because I'm, like, right up on the camera, and it, like, bothered me. I don't have to worry about that doing my VTube and streaming. You've thrown enough money at VTubing stuff that it'll be embarrassing if you don't go for an expensive model. Oh, okay. Do it. Get you a really nice model. They are really, really worth it. I mean, when you can look at a really high quality model and like see that really good crisp facial tracking on someone, I mean it makes a big difference. I always used to think that Snuffy had really, really good model tracking. That was like back in, I don't know, like 2019 or something like that. The model that I'm specifically thinking of, because she could like puff her cheeks and stuff like that, and you could like see if she like pushed her tongue to like one side of her mouth, it like showed up on the model. Just like really crazy stuff that I was like, oh my god, I don't know how that's tracking. You still stuck on character design? You're designing a literal entire universe and many worlds and all the stuff, and you just come up with a character design and spend 4 months on a single creature. Well, that is awesome. I like that you're doing that. As someone who has written a lot of stuff for my own model, I can definitely relate. The only reason that I got my model design done as fast as I did was because I had other people that I was going to be streaming with, and so there was like a deadline that it's like I can't spend however long I might want to getting this up and running. I just gotta get it going and go. Why am I not able to rotate my... What is the problem here? What? It's not letting me rotate my my nozzle. Wait a minute. Ah, that's why. Okay. You got a picture from yesterday on one of the landscapes? Hell yeah. Are you planning on like doing any type of like book or anything where people can like read the universe stuff you're doing, or is it all going to be through stream? Like what's your plan for the stuff that's written? You do links. You're proud of this picture. You spent 4 hours trying to get an AI to generate it. You're not an artist. You're a software engineer, so getting the AI to make the picture was painful. I think you can post a link. I'm not sure if it will work in the stream chat. Pasteboard. Let me see. Okay, it looks like it worked. Let me see. How do I open this without checking it for a virus? Not that I don't trust you, but I gotta like make sure that it's good. Can I like copy this into virus total? Well, that's not gonna come up with anything because they don't have stuff. I got you. Alright, I'm looking at the picture now. I just went ahead and opened it. Ooh, I like that. Man, that reminds me of some of my, like, favorite stuff from Guilty Crown. I fucking love the, like, crystal stuff going on. That is awesome. Hell yeah. That also reminds me of, have you ever seen the, fuck, what do they call it? So there's a bunch of artists that have like try to come up with different designs for like nuclear waste sites that they could do to like communicate to any humans that might come across it in the future or any other species that like this place is dangerous, don't fuck with this stuff, don't come down here. And a lot of them have like tried to like do these like really like pointy like designs that like look like it's like super hostile to anyone that might come over to it. So it reminds me of that. It's really fucking cool. It's a crystal forest essentially. It's awesome. That is super cool. I will be honest with you. I am not a big fan of AI, but I do appreciate that you put a lot of work into getting the AI to do this and to pump this out, and I see the creative vision, and that is very awesome, very based. The forest sits on top of a reef. The reef is in the desert ocean, and the bottom of it, underground, is where the reef wildlife is. Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. Reefs are badass. You did awesome, man. Oh, come on. Why is that spot so hard to get? Bruh. Use AI just so that you have an image to give to the artist later. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I honestly think that that's the perfect way to use it. If you're going to use it, like, I'm kind of against AI overall, mostly for like environmental reasons and stuff like that. But if you are going to use AI, I honestly think this is the best use case scenario for AI image generation, is just to have the ability to put something together to communicate to an actual artist to get something out. It's fantastic. Like it's good for concept work. So no stolen art. That's good. That's good. That's very pleasing to me to hear. No. Okay, so we want to hit the 3. There we go. Multi-purpose. There we go. Yeah. There's also, like, there's some, like, game projects I've seen from, like, indie developers that have, like, put out some games that have, like, some AI artwork characters. And I feel weird about it. Because, like, on one hand, I'm opposed to AI, as I said. But on the other hand, I'm realistic in the fact that a lot of these projects that are using AI for like indie development games and stuff like that, particularly like adult media games or hentai, a lot of these are projects that never would have gone anywhere. They would not have gotten off the ground if not for the fact that they could generate artwork using that. So it's not so much that like an artist missed out on a job opportunity that could have been there, because that there never would have been a job opportunity there in the first place, because the only reason this project exists is because of that AI art generation, but also a lot of that art generation is from stolen art. So am I against AI writing and AI coding too? I don't know. I'm in a position where like I haven't really fully formed a lot of my feelings on AI yet. A lot of the way I feel about AI is complicated because there is a lot of nonchalance from very powerful companies and people who want AI to be a really big thing really, really badly. Without getting too political, like, I really, really hate the stuff that's going on with AI regarding American policy currently, because I think that there is a lot of very, very bad people who want to use AI for very, very bad things, and they are pushing it in a way that is very bad for humanity. It's very bad for the job market. Like, I hate that, like, when I go to apply for work now, like, my fucking resume and everything like that is getting run through an AI that's, like, vetting me, and there's, like, lots of, like, work positions that are getting fucked over by AI, replacing them. I fucking hate, like, running into, like, AI chat support for, like trying to get, like, tech support help and stuff like that, and it gives me a fucking AI chatbot that is, like, unable to even process what I'm trying to fucking say it when I have a problem that isn't something that was directly written out for it. As for AI coding, I don't really know yet. I have had interest in getting into coding. Like, I want to get a tech job, I think. I want to find work in general, but I think that I might be good with a tech job. I am not the best with computers, but computers are something that I am decently good with enough that I could potentially turn it into a career. So I have thought about getting into coding, and I've definitely seen a lot of people talking about vibe coding and other bullshit using AI, but I don't really have an opinion on it yet because I don't know anything about coding. I don't really know how to feel about it. Let's see. The problem is, yeah, you spent a lot of money on writers, and they were worse at writing than the AI, and it's not like the AI writing is usable. Game dev or web dev, no vibe coding. Yeah, unfortunately, there's also a lot of, like, really bad writers who make pretty good money even though their writing isn't particularly good, so I can understand why you would run into that issue. I feel bad, like, putting down writers that I see online that, like, sell their skills, because, like, I feel for them, you know, they're out here, they're trying to make some money, they're trying to, you know, write some stuff and do a service, but, like, God, some of it is really bad. So, I mean, some of it is really, really bad, and you will absolutely end up in a situation where you could just had an AI do it, and it would have done it way better than them. And for, you know, pretty much free. Game dev or web dev, no vibe coding, no bad code. What do you mean by that? Game dev or web dev, no vibe coding. I don't think you know how many writers you went through. You tried around 115 people. They all failed. Oh my God. 115 people. That's fucking crazy. You spent $15,000. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, I can see why you would run into that issue. Oof. Oof. That is rough. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't want to put a lot of onus onto writers, because, like, I feel like a lot of it might just be that it's not in a style that I particularly like, but, like, a lot of the writing that I've seen online from people who sell their writing abilities, I'm just not into it. I don't really like how they write and what they write. Not that I could necessarily do any better. I've written stuff on my own. I particularly run into an issue that I kind of fall into a bad habit of my writing ends up speaking in a very Verbose way? Let me check the definition of verbose. Am I using that word right? Using or expressed in more words than are needed. Yes. A lot of my writing ends up being very verbose. And it's a particular problem of mine. So I don't want to put them down too much because I can't write as well as I would like to either. And I'm sure that there are many people who would read my writing and they would be like, ugh, cringe. Very cringe. They wrote with the skills of a 9th grade high schooler. They broke the rules, they told rather than showed, and the introductions of things were horrid. They couldn't write an action scene to save their lives. That is unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. Where were you hiring them from? They used proper nouns without saying what anything was even. I'm going to be honest with you. My understanding of English is not... or English grammar and, you know, proper writing is not so much that I would really be able to relate to that issue, as I probably would make that same mistake. Okay, maybe switch nozzles here. Yeah. Damn it, the moss. You have something called a sandhorse, so they just used sandhorse, but didn't describe it whatsoever or say what it was. Do you know what a sandhorse is? Probably not, because I haven't told you anything about it. Yeah, I would imagine that it's a species of its own that would require a description. Like, you can't, if you picked up a Final Fantasy book and you said that the character got on a chocobo, you kind of need to describe what the fuck a chocobo is for me to know what that is. I ain't got... I do not have faith in the reader to know what a chocobo is. I don't have faith in the reader to know what the fuck a horse is. I have faith in the reader to know... So tell me, what is a sandhorse? Tell me about the sandhorse. Gonna make you give the documentation on it. Oh, I mean, you don't give me a short description. Not that I'm not interested, but I might have a hard time scrolling through the restream chat. It kind of has a hard time with longer messages. I would assume it's more than just a horse that lives in the desert, you know. It's not a horse. Yeah, that makes sense. I kind of thought it would be a race of its own, just like a chocobo. I figure people probably ride them. Or perhaps they resemble horses in some fashion. Or maybe there's like a different etymological reason, like a misnomer of like, you know, settlers that called them a sandhorse, even though they're not really even similar to a horse. It's nothing like a horse? Oh, okay, okay. Trying to make the use of this stone cleaner. There we go. It's sort of like a Loch Ness monster and Lapras long neck, no shell flippers. Oh. People use them to traverse the desert. Okay, so they are called sand horses because people do ride them. Like, they are a work animal of transportation. Yeah, whatever kind of writing that writer was going with, I guess they were a bigger fan of the reader to just imagine it rather than, like, get into the specifics. So every single writer gave them 4 legs and hooves. Ooh. I mean, did you... I'm assuming you gave them the information on what the sand horses are, right? Yeah, you gave them a 3-page article on their description, yeah. Yeah, that's fucked up that they didn't regard that properly. Where did you say you were hiring them from? I'm not sure if I missed that before. I hope you weren't just getting them off of, like, Fiverr. Came like 100 pages a word. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I can see why they would be like, okay, I don't get paid enough to read this. Yes, Fiverr. Ooh, buddy, that might have been part of the problem. That might have been part of the problem, buddy. I gotta be real with you. That might have been a big part of the problem. I know you pay them a lot of extra money, like, as a research task. Oh, man. You paid one guy $4,000? You paid a person on Fiverr $4,000? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Whew. Damn. I know a VTuber whom is a writer. If you would like for me to put you in contact with them. I'm not sure that her writing style would be good for you, but you could look at her work and see if you're into it. I think she does quite a lot of world building in her writing as well, so you could check her out and look at it at least. Writing annoys you, so you tried to outsource it. Completely understandable. Here, let me see if let me get her name. Oh, fuck, what is her name? Oh, why am I drawing a blank now? Hang on, let me see if I still have her, like, Discord or anything. Yes, okay, so I just gotta find... Am I still friends with her on Discord? I think so. Oh, maybe not. She might have deleted me. Or I might have... I don't know. We haven't talked in a while. Let me see. Oh, no, I still have them. Let me get their name. Please don't autoplay this stream video. Okay. All right. Okay. Copy the link. There we go. Here. If you want to check out this person, you can go to their linked stuff. I'm pretty sure their, like, writer page is linked. They've like done work for, like, official companies on writing projects. So if you ever want to check out another writer, you can check them out. I would recommend that you look at their work before you hire them, because I don't know if their style fits you or not, but I know that they are a writer who has had many satisfied clients. There's a lot of science and all new physics constructed a universe out of scratch. The world builders were not into the physics. Ah. I like that you went and did all that, though. I'm a big fan of people doing worlds that do not follow the laws of how our world works. I can definitely see how some writers would not be into it. Like, there's definitely going to be some writers that are like, oh, why do we got to do everything from scratch? Like, why can't we just do, you know, like, what are readers really going to care about the physics or whatever? Because there's definitely going to be readers that are going to come across that and they're like not going to be into it. But I think it is valuable that you're doing that. I would much rather have a story that the creator is more into, you know, making something that they're passionate about rather than like trying to do something that's like mass market appeal. Because you know, you're not after the reader who isn't interested in the physics of your world. You're after the reader who is going to be interested to learn about the physics of your world, the backstory of the Sandhorse, and all these other interesting, unique qualities of the world. And the physics can be the actual writing. Yeah, but it's important that the person who's writing it knows that stuff when they're making it. You could also, I've thought about doing this as well for my writing. You know how we have Lord of the Rings, but we also have like the Silmarillion that gives like the backstory for the world and like actually gets into like explaining everything about the world of Middle Earth and stuff like that. You could do something like that where you have like a piece of writing that like actually really gets into the weeds about this kind of stuff, and then actually have the story take place in a different piece of book material or media entirely. I don't know what your game plan is there, but it's something I've thought about for my own stuff, because I have a lot of like metaphysics going on for my writing where there's like, once again, like it doesn't really follow the traditional rules of how our world works necessarily. All the physics stuff was just notes for the writers, none of it went into the actual writing. I got you. %96 on this place. We're almost there. How long have I been streaming? 2 hours? Oh, wow. I thought it had only been like an hour. Damn, I spent 2 hours on this single fucking power wash area. I must have gotten like way slower at this, because I was knocking out maps there for a while. I was doing like, I did like the entire Tomb Raider maps in like one stream, I think. Maybe more. How much did I have to construct? Well, so I was in an interesting position. I don't really like to talk about this stuff so much, just because of reasons, but when I started VTubing, I was a part of a VTubing group, and so it was like a group effort to think of a story, and things moved pretty quickly. The base idea was just for us to be essentially like the different playing card suits So, because there was going to be 4 of us, so there was going to be a spades, a club, a hearts, and a diamond. And I wanted to be the hearts. And then from there, I can't remember if it was me or someone else that suggested it first. I don't remember. It was a long time ago. But I want to say it was me, but I don't remember if it was me that thought of it first or not. But at some point, the connection was made that it's like, oh, I could do. It could be like an Alice in Wonderland type thing, and if I'm going to be the Hearts suit, I'll do like the Queen of Hearts. So from there, I thought like, oh, wouldn't it be really cool? Is if like instead of it being that like I behead people or whatever, what if I was the one that was beheaded? So we have like the neck scar on my character and all that. So that was like a thing that very quickly, within like the first week of brainstorming, I knew I wanted to have. And then, I kind of had a lot of these like design elements in my head since I was a kid, of like things that I knew that I had in a lot of like my drawings, because I did a lot of drawing throughout my whole life. I've always been into like art. So I just kind of like brainstormed and drew up a bunch of designs of like things that were like very indicative of me. Like my model is a distillation of me and the things that I love and have made me who I am as a person. So like the heart sigil on my chest and stuff like that is very reminiscent of designs in the Kingdom Hearts series. A lot of the outfit on my character is very reminiscent of like Alucard from like Castlevania, in some of the like the way that the boots are like shaped and stuff like that. Yada yada yada. I basically I put together a collage of a lot of things that I really liked, design elements that really spoke to me, and then I did some like light sketches, and then I gave that to my artist Mama, who was going to do my model, and she took that sketch that I did, and most of it kind of just came together as this. There was only a couple minor tweaks that needed to be done, where she sent it to me. The most major thing is that my color scheme was swapped, where let me like pull my model out a little bit more here, what we're talking about. So all the parts here that are like black, these were red when she did it. So I was very red. So that was the biggest thing that changed, was she sent that to me, and I was like, let's inverse that. And I think I had to do a bunch of notes and like, circled on stuff and whatnot, where I was like, keep this red, turn this black. I basically took the drawing she gave me and I took it into like a paint program or whatever, and I like did like the darkening. I might even have like taken a picture and like did it on traditional. I'm not exactly sure, but I tested the different like color placements and stuff like that. And so I came back to her and I was like, okay, let's change these. I might have tweaked a couple things here and there, but for the most part, it kind of came together really well. Yeah, it's designed to reflect me, but it's also designed to kind of have like character stuff for the story. So like, for example, here, like this little crown, this is not, it's not like a tiara. It's a crown that's like broken, because the idea was I wanted it to be like a ruined king. Like my kingdom is in ruins. It's not around anymore. Back when we were doing the character design stuff, we were all going to have our own kingdoms with their own backstories and stuff like that. And so, I thought of how I wanted the storyline for my character to be. And so, yeah, like my crown is broken because like my kingdom's gone. And it got like fucked up, and like the crown got torn or whatever. I'm simplifying because I don't want to like be cringe and like talking about all my story stuff right now, because I haven't like finalized it, and it's gone through a lot of rewrites after everything that happened in the past. I got that. I got the eye makeup here because I wanted it to be a bit more reminiscent of like the Queen of Hearts. My eyes are supposed to be like kind of like a sunset or a sunrise. It looks a little bit more like a sunset than a sunrise, but it's kind of supposed to be like a signifier of like the sun setting on the kingdom that has fallen. Or if you're looking at like a dawn, it's a dawn of a new age. I have these little earrings that they're actually black roses because there's like the Alice in Wonderland thing of like painting the roses red, but the rose has like wilted and died now because the kingdom has fallen, and so the rose is black. I have this little chest medallion here, which is kind of like evocative of like, lots of kings would have themselves decorated in history. So it's like a decoration of the kingdom. But like when the neck was severed from my body, there was like a blood splatter. And so like the blood is like encrusted on the metal. So it's the whole thing of painting the roses red. The roses are being painted red with blood. Which, sounds a little cringy or whatever. But like diegetically, having that happen in like a story and all that can be quite satisfying. It's a little bit easier for me because I'm not it's not entirely original. It was based off of a Alice in Wonderland-esque concept. So I'm making references to something that already exists, but putting my own spin on it. So that certainly helped a lot. I think your rose is bleeding. Yeah, it definitely looks like it's bleeding. That is part of the idea there. And all of those things that I pointed out and stuff like that, like those were all things that I sketched together in like, I don't know, it was like a week or a month, something like that. I put all that together and then contacted the artist and got things moving on that because we were trying to move pretty fast and get a VTuber group together. And I promised to give my chat a crown. You have crowns as oh god, how does it work on Twitch? The fucking the badges. You get like badges or whatever. How does I don't know how it works on Twitch. I don't do bits or donations and watch streams enough to remember what it's called, but that we have crown badges you can get, I'm pretty sure. I think. Honestly, what I should do is I should get a some VTubers have like a mascot that like represents the chat, like how Ina has the little takodachis. I should get a little mascot for chat and give them a little crown. That's what I should be doing. Okay, back dormer frames. What the fuck is a back dormer? Main roof. Main roof cap. Main roof. Okay, where is the problem? Where is the problem? Where? So VTuber characters should be designed to reflect the person. It depends. Like I have a very good friend, Seiji Suna. She's rather successful as a VTuber. She told me in the past that like she was not particularly like I don't want to say fond. I can't remember the word she used exactly, but like the model was just a model to her. She put together a design that was like interesting and that she liked and had elements of stuff that she liked and like fit with the character lore that she was doing that was going to be relevant to her streams. And, that was that. She didn't really put a whole lot of herself into her model. Whereas I have some people that have known like me who, they pour a lot of themselves into the model. I myself poured a lot of myself into my model. I've also known people who have come across like adoptable models that they've just seen people were selling and they were like, yep, that fits what I want. And they just bought them straight up and they loved them and they've used those models ever since and they've gotten like updates on those models and that works just fine for them. For me, it was something that was incredibly personal and honestly therapeutic. Like I feel that having this model fulfilled a childhood desire that I didn't know that I needed to fulfill. It kind of made me feel more complete as a person. So designing like a character in a novel is probably not the way to go. I don't know. You know, I think that writing is incredibly fulfilling and probably more fulfilling than a lot of streaming will ever be. So I don't know, is the English polite no? No, I'm definitely not. I'm not saying no. I would heavily lean towards not no. I do think that there are people who would think that it's not the way to go. But I personally am the type of person who I think that that the effort that you are putting into doing something creative is worth any downsides that might be had. Also, I'm going crazy because this roof is orange, so I cannot see where the fucking dirt is when I highlight it. I almost made it through a whole stream without cursing, and then I did that. Damn. I was so close. Cause like I'm writing my own stuff. You know, I have a lot of stuff written. I have a very like freehand style of thinking. So like I have what's it called on Apple? It's is it Freeboard? Freethink? Free Flow? Something like that. It's like it's an app where you make like a whiteboard and you can like write in it. You can throw pictures in there. You can do whatever the fuck you want. It's like a whiteboard. I have like a bunch of whiteboards organized into different files for like my writing and my world building and stuff like that. And there's like plans to do like 4 or 5 books. I kind of want to do some like visual novels. There's like ideas for like music and stuff like that. I'm very much like a go big or don't do it at all type of person creatively, and my brain flows all over the place, and I don't really care if it never goes anywhere. I don't care if I release it and there's not a single person that doesn't like it, because I like it. I care about it. I enjoyed making it. I'm writing it for me more than anyone else. I would ideally like for at least one person to like it. If I can release my story stuff and one person tells me that they really liked it and it made a difference in their life, that it impacted them in some kind of way, you know, it inspired them to do their own thing, it, you know, made them think about the world in a kind of way that they hadn't previously thought about it, it gave them hope in some fashion, then it was all worth it. But even if I don't get that, I had fun doing it. How do you manage cohesiveness as you update things, keeping old things updated, etc.? I don't manage it. I just kind of step into the chaos. My way of doing it is that, like, I'm gonna spit a bunch of shit at the fucking whiteboards that I have. I'm just gonna let my creativity flow. And then I'm gonna do like rough drafts, and then as I think of more shit and decide I want to add more stuff or change more stuff, I'll do another rough draft and another rough draft and another rough draft, and how many ever fucking rough drafts it takes until I distill it into that perfect sauce that I'm after. However many filtrations it's got to go through, however much chaotic bullshit that it's got to go through, however much stuff's got to get retconned or changed or whatever. You know, once I distill that secret sauce, you know, I'll release it once the secret sauce has come into being. I'm not going to rush the process, and I'm not going to stress about, like, keeping everything super organized, because my brain just doesn't work that way, organization-wise, and I feel that, like, If the creative juices are going to flow, they got to flow the way that my brain works, rather than me trying to force my brain to work in a way that it doesn't work. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I haven't released anything, so maybe that's not the way to do it. Dude, where the fuck is this? I did it again. I gotta curse less. Where the heck is this spot? Okay, side gable roof. It's this orange bit here. Okay. You're definitely not having fun writing. You actively just don't want to write because it sucks so much. Again, spending 4 months on a single creature, like you're engineering a robot, and every single detail is painful like that. It's like climbing up a mountain and being attacked by porcupines all the way up. I understand. But, you know, if there is any enjoyment that you find in any kind of writing, you know, play to your strengths, outsource what you gotta. If the only way that that's going to get done is by using like a language model AI or whatever, so be it. I would hope that at some point in time it passes through the hands of a human that's doing some writing. But you know, you follow your heart, man. Whatever is going to get you where you need to go. A job complete. You enjoy the cinematics, the scenes, but to make those scenes, you have to walk through 300 miles of mud. Oh, I get that. I get that. There's a lots of like events that I want to transpire in my story, but filling in the blanks between those events, getting us to each of those events, is not nearly as fun to me as writing those big events that I'm excited for. Should I do another one? I could maybe do this golf cart, because I don't think the golf cart's that big. Yeah, I'll do the golf cart. I'll do the golf cart, and then we'll probably close down stream, because I gotta cook dinner. It's, oh my god, it's 11:21. Ugh. That's another thing about streaming, is I always end up eating dinner super late because I'm streaming. I don't have time to cook dinner. I understand why a lot of streamers end up getting like Uber Eats and shit like that. "300 miles of painstakingly developing ecosystems, cultures, histories, characters, like you're stuck in endless small details and never get anywhere. You get to eat dinner when you stream." I try to eat dinner every day. I'm really into cooking. So if I don't get to cook, I'm kind of sad. I really like cooking. A lot of my writing also comes with the baggage that because there is a connection to previous stuff that has been written in the past. Like I have Alice in Wonderland stuff going on. But I don't just have Alice in Wonderland stuff going on. I have other characters that are from other stories, essentially, for lack of a... I'm not going to get into the weeds of, like, explaining everything about my story right now, but, for simplicity's sake, we'll say that they're from other stories, even though that's not necessarily accurate. I have characters that are from things like Journey to the West, the Epic of Gilgamesh, and tentatively some other storylines, as well as like one or two completely original things. For the characters that are like more or less from existing works of fiction. I want to make sure that I'm like really capturing the essence of that original piece of fiction that was written. So like I have to do lots of studying about these works of fiction, so that kind of slows me down a lot. Like I've done a lot of research into the Epic of Gilgamesh, having a very painful time reading through some particular translations of the original Journey to the West, for example, is very difficult because I am not a native Chinese speaker, and so there's a lot of things like culturally and like pronunciation wise and whatnot that are kind of difficult for me to get through, and it's honestly kind of a dry read in a lot of ways. But I have reasons why I want to feature these stories. When you stream next thing you know, it's the morning and you just start work, and then you work and stream, and then in the morning again. Oh, Jesus Christ, that sounds so bad for your health. Be careful about that. You're eating for several days. Don't do that. Do not do that. The Heroic Legend of Arslan. No, I have not. Let me look this up. Oh, I tried to watch the anime for this, the like first episode or so. I was not into it at the time that I tried to get into it, but I've always had an interest in potentially trying again. You're an MMORPG guy. You're a guy that doesn't sleep for 7 days because you got to grind for rank 1. I'm also an MMORPG guy. I played a lot of Final Fantasy XIV in my life. I've also played some other MMOs as well, but particularly Final Fantasy XIV. But I don't know. I don't do that. I don't particularly do that to myself. Your motto is, if you're sleeping, you're losing. I love sleep. I'm like a cat. I love to sleep. I will take naps. I need my eep. Not the TV series, the original novels, not the manga. Well, I have not read them, but I would be interested to check them out potentially. Why do you mention them? Is there something particularly relevant about them to our conversation? There's a series of 3 to 4 movies as well, anime British voice actors. I do like some British voice actors. Because Arslan is a great story and you might enjoy it. Okay. I will put a bookmark in it and hopefully get around to it at some point in time. I'm a rather slow reader. Well, not like physically a slow reader. I read lines quite quickly. It just takes me a long time to get through books. So I don't know when I might get to it, but I might end up reading it. Might end up incorporating it in your writing. Well, I don't have many things that are particularly modern. Most of them are rather old. But I might want to check it out. It's potential. Oh, it isn't that modern? Okay. Well, I've been trying to work in things that are like in public domain because I don't want to get my ass clapped for featuring something that's like copywritten. Not that I intend to sell any of this necessarily, so I don't think I'm really in a problem. 1986 to 2017. Yeah, that is kind of modern. I will check it out, though. It seems cool. I had a big interest in it, and I just wasn't vibing with the anime, so maybe I would really vibe with the novels. I'm assuming they've all been translated into English, right? Didn't like the new anime either. It seemed like it was good. It just isn't for me. You loved the movies? I might need to check out the movies. I usually don't watch things that are like anime in English, but if they have some particularly good British voice actors, then I might be persuaded. The movies are old. That kind of makes me feel better. Let me Arsland movies. Let me look these up. Yeah, that do be some early 90s or late 80s style of animation looking. Oh, are these live action ones as well? The voice actors, except for the last movie, were top tier. Oh no, they fumbled the last movie? Shit. His character design is so different in these older ones that I'm looking at. He looks like a completely different person. He looked very, very soft boy in the new anime. They fired the voice actors and hired American voice actors. Ooh. Ooh, that's rough. That's rough. I don't like that. Yeah, I can see how they might be. Especially in that era of early anime voice actors. Let me see if I can find these original designs. Original designs. Okay, I see the novel depictions that they have here. I assume this was done for like cover art or like extra material. Yeah, I like these. Some of this reminds me of Yoshitaka Amano. Did Yoshitaka Amano do artwork for this? Let me see. It does look like Yoshitaka Amano might have done. Yes, Yoshitaka Amano did in fact do some artwork for this. Okay, that does explain why I think it's so badass. I'm very, very into Yoshitaka Amano. All right. All right, Ness. I'm gonna head to bed, or well, not bed. I'm gonna head off. I'm gonna go cook dinner, and then I'm gonna probably relax for a little while and head to bed. But I'm gonna go ahead and close up stream here. It's been great chatting with you. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me. I appreciate you. I hope you have a great night. Please try to get some sleep. Don't stay up too late. Raid? I don't. I get. Yeah, okay, we can raid. Let me see. I feel weird about raiding. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I feel like I guess I have this is gonna sound really bad. I almost don't want to say it because it sounds so bad. I like have like a imposter syndrome where like I don't really feel like I'm good enough to raid people. just pretend and say that. I'm gonna find someone to raid here. Let me see. Since I'm raid, I expect you to stream another 6 hours for my cherished viewers. Yeah, just plop that in their lap as their problem. Yeah, that's fair. Let me see. I try to raid people that have less viewers. This person's not even talking, so I'm not gonna raid them. What the fuck? Oh my god, am I still following this person? What? Yeah, I am. Oh my god, hang on. I gotta fix that later. Whew. You can say be grateful you've been raided by the famous. Yeah, and they'll be like, who? Let's see, who's this person that's on my follow list? Is this a... What am I looking at here? I don't know what I'm looking at. Okay, not this person. Someone else here. Not my problem, you live under a rock. Wait, the fuck? Is Amelie playing... Oh, she's playing FF16. Cool. I thought she's playing FF14 for a minute. I was gonna be infinitely more excited. I like FF16, but God, I eat, breathe, and sleep FF14. Okay, I'm still looking for who to raid here. This is another reason why I'm not raiding as much. Let's see, who's this person here on my follow list? What are they doing? Okay, they ended stream the second that I clicked on it. Okay. Alright, this is not going as easily as I would want it to. Fuck. Maybe this person? Hure? Who the fuck is Hure? I'll look him up. I was trying to go through my, follow list. Who is this person? They seem nice. Sure. Yeah, that's actually a damn good suggestion. I'll raid this person. I don't know who they are. I like their model. Okay. Hure. There we go. Alright. Start raid. Alright, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you have a lovely night. And, yeah. Thank you for hanging out with me. I will see y'all very soon. Bye-bye. Wait, okay, I hit the... Wait a minute. Okay, yeah, right now. There we go. Yeah!